everybody. Welcome to the Cast of Psychic Medium show, recording in Tacoma, Washington. For appointments, call 253-503-6816 and visit casthuff.com and also psychiczen.com for psychics and mediums from the Pacific Northwest. Information is from Spirit and is from a spiritual medium and is for entertainment purposes only. This and all recording and information I provide are copyright protected by law and the property of Cass Huff. Well, hello everybody. Today is January 22nd, 2020. Today's numerology is a 9, a very spiritual number. 9 is the number of longevity. It's also the number of serenity. It can be the number of humanitarian energies. And so today is a very important day of standing in your own truth, in your own light, and being surrendered to that which serves you most. And sometimes that may mean standing back or being in a vibration that is most healthy in the moment, and staying in a place that is most valuable to you. So a little economic. Today's maybe a good day to be economical with your energy and allow yourself. When we leave space, things can grow. And so the other day I was sitting down with a beautiful young couple that's about to get married. They've asked me to marry them. And the young man said, what I want is for things to be simple. And when I got home, I thought a lot about his statement in his relationship. And I said, wow, when things are simple, love can grow. When we leave room for things to be easy, new things can come in, good things can happen. And in Feng Shui, when you are looking at the health center on a Bagua map, the health center is in the center of the house. Most often it's found in the kitchen or close to, basically you're looking for the most open heart place in the house. Usually close to the center you're gonna find the dining room or kitchen. Sometimes it's a hallway. So in the health corner of your home, you want to create, or the health area, because it's not a corner, you want to create a space of openness. And that's what I saw in a vision from this young man. He's saying, I want things to be simple so that things can flow. And so here we are on January 22nd, 2020. Energies are just really ramped up today. The main message of the morning is have faith. And so as I was working on the message of the day, I've had different people call throughout the day for readings. And one of the messages that came through is, imagine that you're picking up a bag to carry, only that bag has prayers, positive affirmations, maybe some coping skills, something that brings you positivity and joy. And that's what you're actually carrying around with you. Now, if you can imagine, that bag would be pretty light. It would be pretty economical, the word of the day. And so it's all about what bag are you choosing to pick up and carry. Are you picking up a bag of burdens and stress? Is it possible you can unload some of that? Do you carry around the opportunity to stay in faith? And so fear can manifest more fear. And that's why if we have any kind of PTSD, anxiety, or stress, heavy-duty stress, we do need to deal with that and find coping mechanisms, because they can manifest issues or cause us some mental stress where we don't know which step to take forward. That's easiest. It's like a cloud in the energy. So when you use your coping skills, if you're having any stress or PTSD, make sure that you give yourself plenty of time. Anxiety often is stress related. Anxiety for me, I see a lot of people who have spiritual energies attached to them. They carry other people's energy. Sometimes an empath can experience anxiety. Someone who's actually a medium can pick up ghosts that can cause what looks just like an anxiety attack. The other thing I see often is when you're experiencing a knowing, but the knowing is uncomfortable. Often we're afraid of what we know. That can also be anxiety. And of course, there's other stress-related physiological and physical things. I'm not a doctor, but it's, stress is a big deal. So today the main message was to pick up your bag and carry in that bag prayers, intentions, positive affirmations. And the homework, if you choose to do it for today, is to write a list of all the things that you want within the next 20 days. So by February or on February 22nd, 2020, you want to write out all the things in your life that you want to happen from now until then. And it's a very important time to do that because the energies are fluctuating so much. It's important for you to navigate your own ship in the direction of your life the way you want it to go and maintain your course and your focus. Being flexible is something that is important, but at the same time, you've really got to navigate your own ship. Okay, so get out of troubled waters. At the same time, stay focused. Okay, that brings me to a teaching a friend gave me years and years ago in massage school, that if you are experiencing any issues in your neck, specifically like tightness in the neck, muscles or bones, you may be experiencing metaphysically, you may be experiencing a need to be more flexible or having trouble seeing things differently. Possibly you're stressed out or stuck in a situation. So it is important to remember Bodywork can be very powerful in helping correct imbalances, because we are not just, we are physical, we are energy, we are, emotional bodies. And so addressing things, you can work on the physical body to correct imbalances in the emotional body or help you to balance those things out, as well as working with the emotional body, and that will also help correct the physical. So just remember to do your, things that bring you health and balance. The other message that was coming up today is, where is there pain that exists in your life? And if you are experiencing grief, I want to remind you that grief is like a cloud in your aura. Grief is a beautiful thing because it is the amount of love that you have for whatever it is you've lost. But grief can manifest as a cloud or an energy, and it needs to be moved through. Sometimes we want to stay in the grief because we're missing someone, something, or some situation. We don't want to move forward yet. We want to really experience the love and or the blessing or the feeling that it gave us in whatever we're missing. At the same time, if you stay stuck in that, it can kind of pile up. You can lose a little motivation. So learning how to move through grief is a very powerful thing. You don't have to force anything upon yourself. Obviously, that would be too quick or too much, but getting out, going for a short walk, talking to people, seeing a psychic, allowing yourself to move some energy, get some massage or healing work, and just observing yourself and noticing what's actually moving the grief for you. Because grief is unique to each and every one of us, and it's something very, very difficult to deal with in an instant. It's something that can be long-lasting, can be years, depending on the type of grief. I know from a family member who lost someone to suicide that she had said it can take 5 years for someone to recover from someone who's committed suicide. And so 5 years, that's a long, long time. And obviously we go on with our life, but that loss, that missing, that, the unresolved possibly things between you and that person whatever it is that's come up, those things can take their time, and certain traumas can last longer for the person to heal. We'll always miss them, but the aspect of moving forward and having your life and feeling you have your feet underneath you, that you can move forward in your own life, that's the process of recovering from grief. And so it's the reason there are so many books out there written about grief, and so many specialists, many helper guides out there. One of my favorite is Dr. Phil. I think he's an amazing dude. And anyway, I've read some of his books. Self Matters is a very good one. So that deals with personal self-help, but it deals with many things in that book. There's so many good guides out there. Just go to the books that work with you most. And another one that I really love is Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. The author of that book, John Gray, wrote a book called Starting Over. That is a book I highly recommend, because some of the homework assignments in that book are very simple and you can do them from anywhere. And it addresses both if you've lost someone to suicide or divorce, if you've lost someone just in general, if it's a romantic or even a friendship. That is a great book. I call upon that book. The other book that I love very much is The Afterlife of Billy Fingers. And recently I reread the end of that book, and I'm so glad I did. That book came to me after a friend of mine years ago committed suicide. Well, I should say it was kind of a questionable suicide, but long story short, the actions that were taken resulted in her life not being here. And so to me, it was a sense of a friend, who's not here anymore, that could have made a better choice. So it's definitely an amazing book. And it talks about how somebody who maybe made bad choices in life can go on the other side and be someone who is incredibly spiritual and powerful. And it calls to the nature that whether you're living or after our life ends here on this planet, we have the choice to step into the light at any time. And for this guy in the book, he was actually spiritual, and you could read that he was spiritual in his life, but when he died, he became incredibly spiritual. And so some people just tend to go right into the light when they pass away and cross right to heaven, and they release all that pain, or if they carried pain, they release it, the pain and burdens. And so we don't have to, think of our loved ones as carrying that pain. A lot of our loved ones choose to pass away and go straight into the light, and I call that heaven. And so there are many ascended masters and saints and angels and loved ones in heaven who watch over and protect our loved ones. In ancient Egyptian times, they actually would use stones, crystals, medicines, and writings to carry the person who's passed away into the light. So it's interesting that some of the shamanic work that I do and the spiritual work that I do focuses on how to maintain light in your life. And the old teaching, we're always alive and alive. We're always in the universal source frequency. We're always available to source. We are source. We've come from source, created from source, and we are source. So how much of that we allow to flow in our life is kind of limited by our own design, however we choose to experience the universal source in our current time. And so there are things that people can do to increase the source frequency and connection in your momentary daily life right now, alive and alive. You can wear crystals, or you can wear a spiritual item or something from an ancestor, something that connects you. Often I see people wearing a necklace. Maybe it's got the ashes of a dog they loved or someone that they cared about. And so they're connecting themselves to the higher source frequency through someone who's passed away. And so it is important to do prayers and protections over what you're putting on your body, and making sure it's of the light and truly for you. But it's interesting that we have so many available options to maintain our light force frequency in our current day-to-day. And I'm challenging you to look around your life right now and see if you're actually activating as much as you can. It just seems really important. The main message of the day was stay in faith. So we can pick up that bag and carry around burdens, or we can carry around loads of good positive energy. And sometimes it's good to have physical things you can look at to just remind you to stay in a positive vibration and stay focused on health, stay focused on what is actually good, and attract good things into your life. The other message that came up today is continuing to focus on your own conscious vibration. We do have the ability to tap in telepathically to mass consciousness. And so it's important for us to stand in the light of the highest truth that stands, that's the right vibration for us. So it is proven that when we are in social circles, or possibly in your work or your career, you're around a lot of people. Groups tend to be a mass conscious vibration. We call it a soul group or a universal consciousness. But this is more like the small group consciousness, like you go to work every day. You're kind of in your own consciousness there with everyone. And so there are times where, obviously that's very important, so you know the vibrational frequency of the mass conscious around you, but also being aware of your own conscious calling and your own needs. And when that vibration doesn't feel that good to you, paying attention to what needs to shift for you to work with it better, for you to be vibrationally more aligned and do your own work, to feel really good where you are and where you're spending your time. And often it's important for us to spend time in meditation just to clear ourselves and not carry on other people's energy, other people's ideas or opinions. It's just really important that we stay in a place of honoring and respect with the mass consciousness, as well as honoring respect of our own consciousness, and that will help you to stand in the light, stand in your own power and in your own truth. So today, the reason I decided to do a podcast, it's been a little while, is because there was so much going on energetically. I wanted to send out some positive messages to help people to activate their conscious awareness of what's good, and maybe a little bit more lighter and light energy. When you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling burdened, when you're feeling exhausted or fatigued, or even if you have a lot of pain going on, remember all of those energies. You can ask Creator to lift them off of you. You can ask for help. You can start releasing, and you can ask for the victory, the downloads that will help you be successful through this time. You are always open to that. All you have to do is open yourself to it, and there's a win-win there, because the more you're activated, the more you activate others around you. So this is a very important time to kind of work through issues. We came through 2019, a lot of energy towards the end of the year, mass completions. We're at the beginning of a new stage, new frequency, new energy. Today, number 9 can also mean you're working out old issues just to release that tail end. Be at peace, be in the harmony and frequency of peace and trust and light. So this is an important time to really look to the future, make a list of all the things you want to have happen in the next 30 days. And, literally write yourself a list and say, okay, these are the things I want to see going well in my life in the next 30 days or 30 days from today, wherever you are, whenever you're listening to this. And experience that you can call out to the universe and ask for the frequency, ask for things to go well, set the energy and ignite yourself into the frequency of a consciousness that's really amazing, and just stay on fire for the universe that serves you. Okay, well, I feel like some people out there really need to get energy moved. So make sure you're also doing your energy healing, Reiki, and meditations. And this is a great time to stay positive for, any messages about your own personal calling to help with humanity. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening, and I hope you take a couple of nice breaths in and breaths out to release your stress, release any anxiety, release any other people's energy or your own energy. And it's okay to send it to the earth. You can also ask for the energy to go to heaven or lift off of you if it's better. So go ahead and make a conscious releasement at some point today. Would be very good. All right. Many blessings to you. I hope you're all taking really good care of yourself. Namaste. Much love. This is Cass signing off.